Good day everyone, this is Soul with another video. Up top somewhere over here is going to be the wonderful sponsors that make this channel happen. And today we got a crap ton of Blizzcon announcements. I'm going to share some of these. We're going to take a look at the map, we're going to take a look at the schedule, we're going to speculate, and we're going to basically go over, well, what's been revealed so far. And there's going to be more coming throughout the week. Let's just get started with what we've got going on right now. First off, to make things painfully clear, yes, there is in fact going to be a BlizzCon 2019. For those who have been out there spouting doubt that BlizzCon is even going to happen, if it's going to be canceled under the weight of political pressure and other such things, it turns out, nope, it's definitely not going to happen. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's take a look at some of this initial announcement, because there's some big stuff. Something new that they're going to be doing, which I think is absolutely terrific for everybody, is that more of the show is going to be free to watch for everybody, whether it's on the app or over at the BlizzCon.com website. Not only are we going to be able to see the opening ceremony, which is how it's always been, not only will you be able to see all the tournaments, but you'll also be able to see all of the big revealed developer panels that will be happening throughout the first day of BlizzCon. I'm going to get to what's going on over there, but this is huge. Before, the developer panels, when they first talk about, hey, here's what's going on in the new expansion, that was exclusive to either virtual ticket holders or to attendees that were going, or to whoever ripped them from from these sites and put them up on YouTube. All right, so with that out of the way, let's take a look at the schedule for what's going to happen on the first and second day. Of course, starting with the first day, where every stage is going to be filled with the opening ceremony. It's going to be broadcasted everywhere. It's free for everyone to watch. Be there, or, well, watch it later. What's going on that has most everyone in a tizzy right now is what's going to happen at the mythic stage, the really, really big stage that you're familiar with. What's going to happen throughout the day, and right now, we don't know. We have 4 panels, each of them say coming soon. All of them are 45 minutes long, and there's pretty much no indication as to what it is, but of course, we'll be able to speculate, right? So if there's one gimme out of all of these 4, we're going to get a WoW expansion. Most definitely, something's going to be announced on that. It's been widely speculated, and there have been various leaks and other things that very strongly indicate Diablo 4 may be announced. Whether or not that actually pans out to be a full panel is really up in the air. We might get the Diablo 4 name and a quick splash trailer, and like, that's it. But traditionally, Blizzard has been both a show and tell sort of company. I think that's why they didn't want to bother announcing Diablo 4 last year, because they really had nothing to show for it because of, well, drama. But with that said, of course, it's not going to surprise me one bit if they're going to be talking about Diablo Immortal, or who knows what other Diablo stuff that they're talking about, because, again, rumors and speculation and supposed leaks are asserting there might be a full remaster of Diablo 1 and 2. We don't know, but they're definitely going to talk about WoW. They're definitely going to talk about Diablo in some way, shape, or form. 2 panels left. A lot of people are expecting something big to happen with Overwatch, whether it's in Overwatch 2, which I doubt, or a very big Overwatch expansion, like not exactly Overwatch 2, but more like an Overwatch 2.0, where they could possibly introduce PvE elements. They might do something to really flesh out the story, something like that, and that would be something that constitutes an entire panel's worth of talking and screenshots and videos and all that sort of stuff. So I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I'm jumping to the second day. And you can see towards the top over at the Mythic stage, we see a World of Warcraft update as well as an Overwatch update. So that pretty much gives me the obvious impression that yes, 2 out of the 4 main panels are going to be comprised of World of Warcraft as well as Overwatch. The other stuff that goes on the next day are also coming soon. So we don't quite know what's going on. Once again, Diablo 3 or Diablo something will take up at least one of these panels. So what could the 4th panel be? It could be almost anything. I'm kind of thinking along the lines of a WoW mobile type of game. I know that mobile gaming might not interest a good chunk of people, but it also interests a good chunk of people. So I think something like this, because it would be something pretty much new, pretty much a brand new IP or a brand new game, that would definitely equate to a full panel. We also might have a full separation between Diablo Immortal as well as Diablo 4 and whatever other Diablo things might be going on. It might be so big that it's going to take 2 panels to cover everything Diablo going on this year. It's probably not going to be Heroes of the Storm or Hearthstone because over on the Epic stage, there is a Heroes of the Storm and a Hearthstone update that's going on. So unfortunately, kind of a bummer that it's not going on the main stage, but what is? I seriously doubt that it's going to be a straight up brand new game, like a brand new IP that no one's ever heard of, like an Overwatch level of what? It was pretty funny the year that they announced Overwatch because we watched this crazy Pixar looking animated thing and by the end we were like, so what's going on? And even Chris Metzen came out to say, oh, don't worry guys, there is a game associated with with this movie. But yes, to sum up my speculation, first place would be a mobile WoW title. Second place, Diablo, because they needed 2 panels to fit all this Diablo stuff. Apart from the main panels, the stages are going to be taken up with tournaments from World of Warcraft to Hearthstone to StarCraft to Overwatch. What's kind of interesting is that the Overwatch Cup is going to be held in 2 different stages. So on one day, you can see right here towards the bottom, it's a little bit hard to see, but StarCraft 2 is going to take place in the big arena. And then on the second day, Overwatch is going to take over the arena. So it's kind of different that StarCraft and Overwatch are going to be sharing the same stage, but at the same time, they're going to have, StarCraft on the first day, Overwatch on the other. It is a little bit weird, but I guess the difference would be that, well, there's going to be, from the looks of it, there's no StarCraft finals that's going on the second day. So apart from the tournament and the big announcements, we're going to have some smaller panels going on, such as going over like some of the audio from Warcraft, life at Blizzard, stuff to recruit people, some more animation related stuff, which is always a fun thing to watch. And then of course there's community night with the cosplay, with the talent show and all that other stuff's going on. So unfortunately those shows aren't going to be available on the virtual tickets, and for those of you who are virtual ticket holders, this is pretty much what you're paying for, apart from of course the virtual ticket rewards. But that's just on the first day. On the second day, we are still going to have continuing tournaments over with World of Warcraft arenas, as well as Hearthstone, as well as Overwatch, as I was talking about before. But then we get to some of the nitty gritty, like some of the developer insights. We take a look at some artists. This is really cool. Over on the Epic stage, there's going to be a whole round of, I guess, different artists that are going in, and they're going to be working on different projects. Like for Overwatch, they're going to be doing some stuff. I think I saw something about Sylvanas. I think it was right over here, where they're going to basically we'll be able to watch people draw Sylvanas live. And we have this pretty interesting panel. Let me just read the description. Come listen to the Blizzard story and franchise development team as they discuss how they shape the worlds you love within our games. So it's not exactly how do we write the lore, but more so how do we build the franchise and how do we build the games that are around these stories. Although this coincides with what is the infamous World of Warcraft Q&A, which will go on for 45 minutes, and I have a feeling that we're going to get curated questions from both the audience, as well as Twitter, as well as the forums, and we'll see if there's any hot takes that happen from that. And we also have the Warcraft 3 Reforged panel going on at 3:15 or so, which is kind of interesting. I thought the Q&A usually happens a little bit later in the day. Maybe I'm getting my times wrong, but you know what? Let me revisit the whole idea of what could be the 4th panel. Warcraft 3 Reforged might be it. Because I know it's not a new game. It's something that we've seen before, we've kind of played before. But there's a lot to show. And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of it thanks to leaks from Wowhead and some very enterprising people on Twitter who've been straight up playing the game. But I think there is a pretty good chance that Warcraft 3 Reforged could be that 4th mystery panel. So that mystery panel could be Warcraft 3 Reforged, Warcraft mobile game, or Diablo something or other. Maybe I'll take the Diablo something or other off the table, and it could be just either Warcraft 3 Reforged or some mobile game from WoW. But it looks like we have some pretty interesting stuff, a lot of standard stuff. They're going to be going over the new Overwatch season for 2020. What else am I missing here? The Art of Diablo, which I'm going to be really excited to see, although that coincides with the developer's tales, which I always like to see as well. Maybe we'll get some people from Classic really speaking up with that. And then of course there's closing ceremonies, to which at least at the moment we still haven't seen. Yeah, we still don't know who is going to close out this year's BlizzCon. So who do you think it's going to be? Huh? I have a feeling that it's going to be an artist or a series of artists that you don't care about because, well, to be honest, we have such different tastes that I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people that aren't going to like the musical artist no matter who it is. Haha. So let's take a look at the map, because the map always changes in ever slight ways. Sometimes things get bigger and smaller and other such. The layout's different, so I think that this will be a little bit interesting whether you are going to attend BlizzCon for the first time, if you're a veteran, or if you just don't give a damn, but you're interested to kind of see, okay, what can we expect from this year's BlizzCon? So we have our standard stuff. We have the mythic stage right above my big old head. That's where all the magic happens. And then A's Hall B and C, where we're going to get where we're going to get the tournaments. The World of Warcraft demo looks to be pretty sizable, and it's being guarded, I guess, by the Sylvanas statue. The Overwatch demo, at least based on the shapes over here, it looks a little bit bigger than the WoW and the Hearthstone demo, which is understandably a little bit smaller. My expectation is that the Overwatch demo, or at least Blizzard, it looks like Blizzard's expectation is that the Overwatch demo is going to be very big and meaty, or at the very least, whatever demo that they have, it's going to be long enough that they're going to need more stations so they can take care of more people. A World of Warcraft expansion demo is always exciting. There's always a lot of people that go there, but we kind of know what to expect from another WoW expansion. A preview, maybe a chance to mess with some classes, look at abilities, maybe take some screenshots of it without anyone looking. Just kidding, don't do that. But as I go through the rest of this map, it seems pretty apparent that there is just a lot of space that is being allocated mostly for demos. So let me go over here to Hall E, which not very many people are very familiar with. Hall E is typically where the Blizzard store is, where you see lines and lines and lines of people there either ready to order or just pick up their items. But in this case, it's being replaced with this thing called the Blizzard Arcade. Let me zoom in a little bit more, and let's talk about what kind of games are being featured here. There's the Blackthorn demo. There's a thing called Cinema, which I believe is probably just going to be an entire montage of a bunch of Blizzard cinematics. There's a Diablo demo, Diablo 2, Diablo 3. There's a HOTS demo. Joey Ray's Bar is something I'm not familiar with off the top of my head. There's a freaking Lost Vikings demo, a statue to guard everything, signing stations, and it makes me wonder, are there going to be signing stations throughout the other parts of the floor? I'm not seeing it. So there might be other places to have where they're going to have signing stations. It'll be kind of weird to have it only in one place, because usually right next to the World of Warcraft demo stages or the Hearthstone demo stages, they'll have an area where you see WoW devs or Hearthstone devs or Diablo devs, and they're kind of there. So if all of them are going to be in one place, that's kind of a cool thing, because it's less of a walk, but it might be really, really crowded in there. But basically, this hall is going to be reserved for playing games and otherwise just hanging out, and that seems kind of cool. I'm just a little curious because Hall E is really, really big. It's as big as Hall D. Like I said, Hall E is where the store is, and that is being located to one of the new halls that open up in the Anaheim Convention Center, right over here. I believe it's a pretty sizable area. I'm just a little bit curious as to why they had it moved over here. And apparently we pick up our commemorative collectibles there too. So when we pick up our badges, and I'll get to that in just a bit, I guess we have to go somewhere else entirely to pick up our statues. I find that a little bit weird. This year's BlizzCon Pass registration is being done in the freaking parking lot outside one of the hotels, the Sheraton Hotel to be precise. Now this area it's a big area between the Hilton and the Marriott. It's a huge walkway. That's where we're going to see food trucks, right over here, kind of in the middle-ish there. I don't know what this Overwatch League thing there, it might be a pop-up store, which would be kind of neat. But yeah, the fact that we're going to see registration outside, I'm wondering to myself, is it going to be like hooded? Is it going to be covered? Or are we just going to have a bunch of gamers standing in the sun? Gamers in the sun, and it's hot. 80 degrees is what the projected weather is going to be. So yeah. As for the BlizzCon Portal Pass people, the ones who bought the $500 and up passes, they're going to go inside a hotel, it looks like, right here in the Hilton, and they'll be able to easily pick up their badges and whatnot in the comfort of the indoors. Speaking of the Portal Pass people, it looks like they're going to have their own exclusive spot to hang out over on the 3rd floor. I believe this is where media tends to go as well, so it might be a somewhat shared space between these two kinds of groups, but hey, it's cool that people will have an exclusive place to otherwise hang out, and I think they get free food too, so grats to them. The Inclusion Nexus is something that I don't recall very well. This mentions a sketch group and a portfolio review. I'm guessing that this has to do with recruiting. And finally, moving to the right, we go to the Darkmoon Fair and the Epic Stage, where we tend to have some of the smaller panels, but they're no less exciting. We tend to have people that talk about lore, voice actors tend to hang out in that place. And of course, that's where you pick up a whole bunch of different swag, like the plushies, the pin exchange, and that sort of stuff. So that pretty much rounds up BlizzCon 2019. There aren't too many questions left, except for who's going to be closing out, who's going to be performing at closing ceremonies, and what are exactly these 4 mystery panels going to be. I'm pretty sure we have most of the guesses down pat. It's just a matter of when it happens, what are we going to get? So I think that, or at least I hope that this is going to turn out to be another amazing BlizzCon full of crazy reveals. And I think it's really awesome that everyone's going to be able to share and partake in some of the big reveals that happen on the first day, with each of the major panels being free for everybody. So what do you think, folks? Let me know your thoughts in a comment below. Of course, like the video if you enjoyed yourself, and subscribe for more of this and all things Warcraft. I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.